My name is Rianet Whitehead, founder of the Insurance Apprentice and editor of FA News. Today, I'm talking to the top 3 of our first COVID year, the Insurance Apprentice 2021. What a year it was. We knew we had to carry on with this amazing competition. We just didn't know how. And you were our guinea pigs. So you had no idea about the format. You knew you were going to sit behind your desk. It's going to be virtual. Other than that, no idea. Why did you enter?
I entered because I was encouraged to enter by other women that are in the insurance industry that are in an association of women in insurance in Cape Town with. And they all said, "You're so young, you know so much, go ahead, do it, you'll win." And when I entered, I truly believed I would win.
But you did.
I did. But going through the motions, I questioned that many, many times over. So that's why I entered. And obviously winning was the cherry on top.
Brendon?
I entered because I used to follow the FA News. And ever since the Insurance Apprentice came out, I always wanted to enter.
Okay.
So I said, let me just wait, let me get my short-term experience because it's very short-term heavy. And once I had the experience, I was like, right, now's my turn. And I entered the year before and didn't make it to the qualifying rounds. So I was excited, especially during the COVID year, because I heard you guys mentioned that the format was going to be different. Mm-hmm. So it was exciting to see how things was going to end up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anele?
So I entered on the loss of a dare. And I'd been speaking about it in the office as well, I think similar to Fee, where Vukosi and Nikki Evedy at the time, when she was still in the country, said, you should enter. Also, you're young and you've got the personality. And yeah, I heard that the format would be different. And I said, why not? And yeah, now we're all sitting here.
So I think in your year, there was a lot more preparation that you guys had to do compared to the other years. Didn't that give you a little bit of a fright?
I was going in blind, so I didn't know what they did in the previous years in terms of preparation. I hadn't spoken to anybody that had entered. I thought it was normal. And I didn't even finish reading all the notes because we did receive a lot of notes. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish reading all the notes. But I did spend quite some time working through it. And I was just like, oh, I don't even know what they're going to ask me. So like, let's just try, you know. So that was me.
Yeah, I remember those notes. Sure, it felt like being in school again because you get like this whole stack of notes that you have to go through. I also didn't manage to finish it as well. But after the first round, you realized how important it was because all of the questions actually was based on those notes.
100%.
So the quiz was really cool. I really enjoyed that. That was the exciting start for me.
Okay. Anele?
Yeah, I think also going in blind, I didn't also know that was what was different in our year, was all the prep. But yeah, there was no ways to finish those notes. I think when you're answering the quizzes, it would be something that you slightly read. And then only then you're like, okay, I know the answer. But yeah, lots of prep, lots of general knowledge questions and answers that we have now from the pack. So yeah, it was different.
Would you have liked to enter, to take part in person? Looking at this year specifically, where it looks quite grueling from the judges' side, what do you think would you have liked to enter?
So I actually think it would be a totally different experience.
100%.
Because I think to an extent we were comfortable behind the scenes, sitting in our isolated offices or isolated studios, wherever we were at that time. And I think we had that benefit, is that, we weren't thrown into the deep end with a task where we have to actually deal in person with the different personalities. So I think that's where we actually benefited. But I think we also lost out on such a good opportunity to actually feel what it feels like to be in the room with everyone around you, to be in front of the judges. So I think it's a win and a lose, but it's different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really think we missed out in some sense as well.
Did you get out of it what you think you were going to get out of it, Anele?
Definitely. I think the personal experience for me was just how quickly you can think on your feet and adapt to a new environment. Like Brendon was saying, you're sitting at home behind a camera, but I think in COVID, it was exactly what we needed, was getting in touch with the broader industry again and understanding personalities, because when you're sitting behind your camera, you're interacting with your work colleagues. Now you have the opportunity to meet the judges, to meet other contestants who are just as passionate about the industry, which I think kind of toned down in COVID, but was brought up again for us.
You had one in-person task though.
Yeah.
Really?
We did.
That was quite a lot of fun. Why should people enter? There are obviously a lot of young people sitting on the verge, and yes, it is not for everyone. But why enter?
Why not?
Fiona.
My question, I do quite a lot of mentorship within the industry, and I spend a lot of time with young people, either on a learnership side or just on a general business mentorship side. And I just say to all of them, why don't you want to enter? And they give me a list of reasons. I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't do public speaking, blah, 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 etc., etc. And really, at the end of the day, what's the worst that can happen? You're not... For me, it wasn't a competition against everybody else. It was a competition for myself to see how far I could take myself. I didn't know the top 10 before I was put in this giant online perpetual meeting, which is what it felt like. I didn't know these people, but it was the connection that we really needed at the time during COVID, or at least me. I don't know if I can speak for everybody. We were so isolated from networking in general that it became a really broad network, and just an amazing sounding board down the line. We've all got together at different times, and we all keep in touch, and I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Never mind the exposure that you get from the platform. That's and it's not just a local exposure; it's an international exposure as well, and I think that's incredible. And I've received quite a lot of interest from talent managers, not just locally but internationally, just from being on the show. I don't think they would have known me otherwise.
Wow, that is so good.
Yeah, I think it's more than anything else, it's an eye-opener. For me, it was opening my eye up to the industry at large, because on the side, I work on advice and I work on, with personal clients on a one-on-one basis.
Yeah.
I think being in that environment, you learn so much more, and there's so much more. It's such a vast industry. Like, I think anybody who thinks about insurance doesn't realize the vast, options that you actually get in insurance. I think for me, that's the eye-opener, is that you learn so much more, and that there's so much of diversity within the insurance sector.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like they said, it's when we were in the competition at the time, it was so exciting to actually be in that environment where you're meeting new people as well.
Yeah.
After such a long time. And then when we met for the task eventually, I think that was like the first flight after the whole COVID situation. And it was such a different experience to be out and to be around people and just interacting in general. But more than anything, it's just a great learning experience. For me, that's the most that I take from it. And LinkedIn blows up. So yeah, if anybody wants their LinkedIn to blow up, definitely the Insurance Apprentice, because the recruiters don't stop. They really don't stop. And it's surprising how many different people actually watch the show and they recognize you. And that's the nice part about it.
That's phenomenal. Anele?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll echo what both Fiona and Brendon have said, is that it's a challenge to yourself. Secondly, it is that drive where you just get off your comfort zone. It's so easy for us to all sit behind our desks at work and say, okay, my little task is to be a financial advisor, to be a broker. But then like, you're exposed to different skill sets of your own that you don't even know about. And you have this network that taps into you, that you tap into afterwards, even if you don't make it top 10 or whatever, but it's everlasting. And a lot of people I've spoken to as well say that they feel that the apprentice kind of elevated them, and I'm the same. People recognize you, walk into a Hollard or a company, and everybody's like, okay, you're from the apprentice. Yeah, and it's like, so it takes you aback, but it's interesting at the same time.
Yeah, I think the takeout from this is I hear all-round growth, and how hectic it looks on screen and how hectic the judges look.
And that's not just editing.
It is editing because they show the rude judges. What about the rest? It was great catching up with you guys. Thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to the announcement of the winner of season 10. This is me, Rianet Whitehead, signing off.